God got me lit. Hey, be careful of them girls, man. I'm not saying all women are bad, and the same for women. Be careful for the men, the wrong ones, man, because they'll get you in all type of stuff, and they'll have you losing direction with the Lord because you distracted. You all caught up in all the little intricacies of y'all relationship, all the emotional things in y'all relationship, all the arguing. Sometimes it's not arguing, all the sex, whatever it may be. Don't get caught up in that sauce. Don't get caught up going to past things that are not good. Don't be looking back, like in the story when the lady was turned into a pillar of salt because she kept looking back. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, let that go. Like I seen something the other day that kind of had me laughing because I feel like we've all been through it in some shape or way, like, you know, some type of toxic relationship. And I saw this young man get out the car. Seemed like he was about to go to work, and he went under the breezeway. Then a girl got into the driver's seat that he got out of, and then he went under the breezeway, and she reversed after about a minute or two of sitting there deciding what she was gonna do. And then she pulled up to the breezeway, sat there. They talked for a little bit. Clearly nothing was resolved, and then she drove off, and I think that was his car, and then he was yelling like, hey, da da da, like calling her and everything, running across the parking lot. And you know, it just looked, you know, like just toxic and embarrassing. And you know, there was people cutting the grass, workers, and you know, there was me obviously looking too. He couldn't see me because my tints are pretty dark, but I was just like, wow, that ain't good. Been there before, buddy. You gotta get it together, man. Cause that's not worth it, because you're gonna end up going to work or possibly getting caught up in another situation, because he ran outside of the parking lot to go chase after the car. And then I was also thinking in my mind, while he's running across the parking lot and then out into the neighborhood chasing the car, I'm like, brother, like, you not finna catch up to that car. I don't know if he thought he was a superhero or something, but he was just running nonstop. Like, he ran all the way out of this big corporate complex into the neighborhood, so I couldn't see him anymore. And I still heard him. Like 2 minutes, I'm like, yo, this dude's still running. I'm like, bro, you not catching that girl in that car. But that shows you that the reason wasn't there, because he was so caught up in the toxicity and the emotionality and all that stuff, when he really was supposed to be doing what he was supposed to be doing at work or whatever he came to do there at that place that day. But instead, you over here chasing after this woman. Same for the females, if you was chasing after a man. You see what I'm saying? And that's taking him all the way outside of what he's supposed to be doing. And you know that's taking him outside the will of God too, obviously, because come on now. You being controlled, you being manipulated, you're not thinking with clarity, you know? And so I say, let all those type of relationships go, and pray over every type of relationship before you get into it. Obviously, I know you're not supposed to be having sex before marriage and things like that, but if you're gonna be in a relationship with somebody, always pray before y'all get into that relationship as friends, even if you're talking about friends, right? And then while you're in that, still always pray. Hey, even better if y'all could pray together, that's even better, you know? Because that'll keep you out of a whole lot of heartache. I see so many things, man. I saw another video where this guy was on live arguing with this woman, and she was like, oh, you know, you cheated first and da da da. And then he was like, stop interrupting me, you know? And she clearly didn't have no respect for him. You know, she's laughing. You know, they both didn't have no respect for each other, to be honest. But before the live was over, he ended up killing her. And he warned her too, that he was gonna kill her, like, if she ain't be quiet. But she didn't listen. And it was so obvious and evident to me that they were operating in spirits that were not of God. We'll just put it that way. because it was chaos. It wasn't peace. So if you have any man or woman that's not giving you peace, drop them like a bad habit. And if you can't drop them like a bad habit, well, you need to pray to be able to find the strength to do that. And then you will get that strength. I promise you, you will. Hey, I don't been through it. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, you will be able to drop it like a bad habit. You'll just like have no urge or no desire for them if you pray to the Lord to help you out, because he gonna get all that up out of you, whatever is clouding your vision, clouding your judgment, whatever, all that's gonna be gone. So that's all I needed to say on that topic, really. But be careful, because I see it too many times. You know, I'm pretty sure y'all can talk about other examples from domestic violence relationships and people being in places that they shouldn't be. And you know, if you're in those relationships, you know God is nowhere to be found in the mix. How you gonna want to get closer to God, but you're not even in a God-led or vibe relationship? But you sitting here being delusional, talking about, oh, I'm trying to get closer to God. How? You in the wrong type of relationship. It's not possible. Even if you took certain steps towards it, at some point in time, because of your attachments, these lines, these ropes on you, eventually you're gonna get pulled into another direction. Eventually you're gonna get distracted, especially if you and that person are not both on the same page of coming to know God and get under his jurisdiction and submit to him. Because if you do that, everything will flourish in your life. It's that simple. But nobody want to hear that. Instead, you want to just work it out. You want to stay there because you really like him or her, because y'all got history, because y'all love each other and all this stuff like that. But if it ain't working out, it ain't working out. And you gotta just pray for the strength to let it go. And then things will get better. And if it's meant to be, y'all both will find each other back after that. Y'all both find each other, both be healed, and be like two different new creations with a whole different mindset, possibly. Or you'll be with someone new. Or you'll be by yourself for a while you're doing your healing and everything of that nature. But this also goes for not just only relationships of the nature that we're talking about here, boyfriend and girlfriend, but also friends. You see what I'm saying? But you know what? I'm gonna speak on it now. I was gonna say I'll make another video on it. No, I'm gonna speak on it now. With your friends, it's the same thing. Cut them off. If they're not on the same page with you, they don't got the same aspirations, especially when it comes to, submitting to God. Cut them off. Cut them off. Because it's going to be just like the relationship. It's going to pull you in different directions. They're going to want to pull up and go do things that are not going to have you in a right headspace. Because remember, to be hearing from God, to be used by God, to be led by God, you have to be listening. If you're not listening, how can he lead you? Just like, for example, when you're with that toxic woman or that toxic man and you're telling them what's right for them and they won't listen to you. That's the same way God feel about us. He can't lead us because we're not listening. So that's not going to work. See what I'm saying? So if you got friends who are always trying to pull you back into your old habits, let them go. Another thing, don't be looking for no validation. You see what I'm saying? If you know you're on the right path, even though it do get hard at times, even though people outside of your friend group, because a lot of this world does hate the light. They do hate people who really do strive to build a relationship with Jesus. They do, you know? And you can have strangers who could be coming against you acting odd. It's okay. Look what they did to Jesus. It's like, it's okay. Just let it flow. Ask God to give you the strength. Ask him to guard your mouth, guard your tongue, all that. And then you just keep it moving. You see what I'm saying? And eventually all that stuff will subside. You know, like resist the devil and he will flee. You know, he gonna stop. So that's just what it is. But it definitely does get hard, especially when you first start doing it. You know what I mean? But I can tell you that once you stay at it and you're doing what you need to do, things get easier. It's just like anything else, right? But let go of those toxic relationships of any kind, the dating kind, the friendship kind. And a quick another little story to give some sauce to this about the friends, just like I did for dating. There was a story a while back when a girl had took her friends to, I think it was Punta Cana. I might be saying that wrong, but she took them out there and then she got jumped and they killed her. And those are people who she thought were her friends. Then there was a girl who was killed in a freezer at a hotel. Again, all those people around are supposed to be her friends. Test the spirits around you. Always be praying on people who are supposed to be your friends, because your enemies, you don't really got to worry about them. It's the people who claim to be your friends that you got to worry about, because those are the people who can be your enemies, who have the closest access to you. Because if you know somebody is truly your enemy, you're going to stay away. You're going to keep some distance. You're going to be like, nah, I'm good. You don't like me. You don't mean no good for me. But if people are being covert or pretending, you got to pray so that you're aware. Just like the Bible says that the enemies will be in your household. The enemies will be people close to you. That's what that's conveying. And it makes sense, because when you look at any, movie or any true crime, I mean, you see it was people who were close, and there's warning signs and things like that. And this doesn't mean that you can't have friends who are not going to be evil, contentious, or any of those things. No, you can have good friends. The whole point I'm saying is pray and have your friends pray and things like that, so that you can make sure that you have those type of real, genuine friends in your life, and ask God to bless you with those type of friends, and ask God to bless you with those type of relationships, and take it seriously and fast, and then those things will come to pass, and you'll literally start to have the old out and the new in, and you'll find yourself, for the friends that do get dropped off, better friends coming around, or a time being when you don't have no friends at all, so that you can have your boundaries set up, have your connection with God grow closer with no distractions, your finances, whatever it is that the Lord wants for you. That's what's going to be dedicated for that time. Sometimes you're not going to get what you want right away. It ain't going to be just like, oh yeah, God, give me some good friends, and then tomorrow he give you some good friends. There might be some other things he want to work on before you get those friends, because sometimes you can actually get friends and you can be the reason that you're getting victimized or in issues with those friends, because you're not setting proper boundaries. You're being too given to the point where you're getting taken advantage of. You're always telling people yes, 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 and everybody calls on you because they know you're never going to say no. And then now you're being used by your friends. And sometimes they might not even mean it, but it's just that you don't have no boundaries. You're not, you see what I'm saying? So sometimes it's not even just only about the friends. That's why I'm saying you have to pray on it. You see what I'm saying? And the same thing with relationships. Sometimes we want a relationship so bad, you're rushing for a relationship. Nah, got work to do. Got work to do. But I can tell you what, doing the work is better than flip-flopping between getting a whole bunch of new friends all the time and a whole bunch of new relationships, platonic sexual relationships. None of that's good. That's not good. We see that's the culture. We see that that's what's going on, and we see how detrimental It is. You see it. The killings, the getting caught cheating, the STD. Come on now. You see it. I don't even got to explain that part. You can look around and see it. You see what I'm saying? None of us are perfect. You see what I'm saying? We slip and we fall. The point is if you did slip and you fall, get back up, get right, and always start your morning off the right way so you don't have those slip-ups and so you don't yield to those bad situations that don't have the Lord in it. You want the Lord in it, so wake up, pray and praise, have a routine every day, just like you get on your phone every morning when you wake up and that alarm go off or whatever, and you check Instagram, you check TikTok, Nah, have a relationship with the Lord. You know, he the original TikTok, he the original Instagram. Lock in with that first, lock in with him first. Then after you lock in with him, okay, then go on about your merry day, and it's gonna be better 1,000 times over. It's gonna be better 1,000 times over. That's a promise that I could promise you. If you put the Lord in it first thing in the morning, your day always gonna go good. When things rise up, it's gonna be less intense than it would have been if you hadn't done that. That's a promise.